Welcome back to Fashion and Founders, the podcast. My name is Victoria Smith, and this week I'm joined by Kate March, the founder and designer of Undone by Kate. Chances are, if you've seen a big influencer wearing a custom one-of-one costume or dress, Kate is behind it. Like Acquired Styles, Christmas Eve looks, Halloween costumes. She also designed Selena Gomez's VMAs dress and tells the story of how that happened and also almost kind of didn't happen. And this is a true story of taking a side hustle and a passion into a full-fledged business. How she started, how she grew, when she knew how to grow, the steps that she took, all of that. I think there's going to be a lot of people who listen to this and see themselves in Kate at her early stage. And not to be cheesy, but this is your sign to keep going and take it seriously. Kate has great advice to share and some really fun behind-the-scenes stories of pieces she has made and what the process is like making a custom garment. And if you've been enjoying the podcast, it would mean so much to me if you can follow the show and leave a rating or review. It really helps the show grow and continue to get really cool guests like Kate. Also, if you've been following along with the Fashion Career Playbook series I've been doing, this past Friday, I released on Substack email templates that actually get replies. I go through a lot of outreach tips, like who to email and how and what to say, literally breaking down step-by-step things I have done. And this week's brand highlight is a small business that is making that style of necklaces. The picture will be on the video version here, but I'm sure you've seen it on a lot of tastemakers like Pia Mance or the Millennial Decorator or Styled Sarah. That's like this long pendant necklace with a tassel or beads. And I found this brand first actually because she was selling her pieces on Poshmark, and she only has somehow 168 followers on Instagram. It's all based in New York. It's called, I might pronounce this wrong, Avon Atelier, and the pieces are stunning. She has ones with shells and all these different pendants and tassels and chains, and people have said that they have first learned about a business or a brand through these highlights, so I wanted to bring them back. So definitely go check her out. I'll put her Instagram in the show notes. And quick shopping hack, I know I've been talking about Rent the Runway on here a lot, and of course you can get 50% off your first month with my code, but once you have a piece at home, they are doing 50% off you buying it. And if we're like girl mathing this really quick, you get a subscription for $50 with the 50% off code. You get 5 pieces. That's like you're renting it at $10 each. And then you have this, let's say $200 sweater. You use the code, you're buying it for $100. Like that's actually such a hack, I think. And a lot of the pieces on Rent the Runway, they're getting new stuff in every week. I have gotten stuff where I'm the first person to wear it because I get it with all the tags still on. And so if then you're buying it at 50% off, I just think it's such a hack and I wanted to share. Okay, let's get into the episode. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have this conversation with you and get to know who is behind Undone by Kate. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'd love to start with a bit of your introduction, how Undone by Kate even began. How did this all start?
So it's a little bit of a long story. I'll try to shorten it down. For those who don't know me, I'm Kate. I'm the founder and designer of Undone by Kate. We specialize in custom bridal and special occasion, one-of-a-kind pieces. So really anything in between those, if you need a custom outfit, I can make it for you. And what's really unique about Undone is that everything is made here in New York. So everything from when I draw the sketch to your final fitting, it's all custom made in New York. And that is something I take great pride in, that you really get so much individualism within each bespoke piece that we make. So that's a little bit about me and how I started. So I went to school at Pace downtown in the city, and I actually majored in business management. I knew I never wanted to actually pursue anything in business management, which I guess now is happening, but skipped one too many classes, ended up just interning everywhere I could in the fashion industry. So everything from retail, wholesale, PR assisting, fashion week. Eventually I found my niche in celebrity wardrobe styling, which I feel at the time wasn't as prevalent as what it is now. At the time when I stumbled into celebrity wardrobe, I was like, what is this world? What is a stylist? And I ended up assisting this one celebrity stylist in New York for 2 years, post-grad, and then pandemic hit. So COVID is a pivotal part of my story, blessing and a curse, you know, like really dark times, but I think through the dark came a little bit of brightness for me. COVID started and I was gifted. Oh, I was laid off. I was laid off.
As a lot of us were.
Yeah, naturally. We were in the business of dressing people for events and there was no events. And while I was sad, I obviously understood. And someone gifted me a sewing machine. It was a Bernina sewing machine and some extra scrap fabrics to go along with it. And I was enamored by sewing. I had done hand sewing and celebrity styling, like quick, the zipper bust, like stitch it up. But having my own machine was really something special. And I went to YouTube University and taught myself how to sew. I ended up going through all the scrap fabrics because I was really just in love with the art of sewing. And this is where Undone begins. I go into my closet, I find all of the vintage band tees that I can part ways with, and I just start ripping them up and sewing them in different ways, and eventually landed on this like split half and half band tee. And I posted it to my personal Instagram. I had like 1,500 followers. And I was like, LOL, look what I made. Like, I sewed this shirt. And I didn't expect anything out of it. Like, I wasn't posting it to become a sale. And all of a sudden, as expected, there's all my friends being like, I want one. There's my family being like, I want one. Underneath it is all of these people I've never met. And they're like, can you make me a shirt like this with Jimi Hendrix? Or can you make me one with Aerosmith? Or like, my favorite artist is this. Can you make me a custom tee? And I had like light bulb. It's like, whoa, yes. I don't really know how just yet, but yes. So I took on, it was maybe like 20 custom t-shirts, and I would order them off of eBay because everything was closed. It was pandemic. Splice them up, send them out. And before I knew it started gaining traction.
That was such a COVID like design, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like there's some specific upcycled pieces, like the Nike socks. I feel like I saw everywhere.
The tie-dye sweats.
Yes.
Of course I dabbled in them.
But you were getting started. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was just a fun creative outlet, honestly. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So it kept my hands busy. And then I started selling on Instagram Live, which is crazy because I told you before, like, I'm not good on camera. I get a little shy.
You're also ahead of the time. I feel like live shopping is a thing now.
It was like QVC, but Gen Z millennial vibes. So I'd go on and post up with the shirt and say, whoever wants it, sold.
Mm-hmm.
And then never forget this, after Instagram sales were going off, I thought that was pretty much it. I was like, this is my COVID thing, and then I'll go back to work in styling if the world comes back. And I get a DM from this girl. She has a boutique on Long Island. It was called Love and Honey. Sadly, they closed. But she said, I want to order 150 to 300 flannels for my store, because I was doing split flannels too. How quick can we get them, and what's the wholesale price? I was like, the wholesale price? What do you mean? But I ended up doing it. I priced them out. I definitely priced them. I was probably breaking even, if not losing money, because I had no idea what I was doing. But I figured it out. Back to YouTube University, how to price your product, all of these things. And before I knew it, it was going through other boutiques in Long Island. We were selling to like 10, 15 across Long Island, New Jersey, Philly. At this point, it's 2021, 22. COVID is kind of easing up. People are going somewhat back to work. And I said, okay, leases must be relatively cheap. Signed a 3-year lease in the city on a studio. It was like 700 square feet. And that was the scariest moment of my career ever. But I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work, I will go waitress and I'll pay the rent and maybe I'll sleep here. Whatever. We'll see what happens. And then once we got the lease, I started doing a lace-up blazer. So it was this upcycled blazer, and there was a split down the side and there was laces down. And I reached out to every influencer I knew, cold DM. Again, this is me with like maybe 2,500 followers now. Hey, do you want to wear this blazer to anything you have coming up? Even if you just want to shoot it in the street. Snowball into a very large New York influencer who reached out for one. And that was a pretty pivotal moment. She posted it, linked it, and I look at my Shopify and there's $10,000 in sales within the first hour. It was, I could cry thinking about it, because at that moment I'm like, whoa, I could pay rent. I could do whatever I want. Maybe I could go out to eat. So it was pretty amazing. And then snowball into a couple months later, it's Halloween. And she commissions me, same influencer, commissions me for a custom Halloween outfit. And the inspiration was this Cher Bob Mackie original. It was like the long beaded gown with feathers. She posts it. It goes somewhat viral, gets a lot of attention. And here comes the bridal era. Brides see it, and brides somehow translate that into, I want some sort of iteration of this custom jumpsuit for my after party. So my first 8 to 10 brides were all white jumpsuits and like an iteration of what the Cher look was. And it was really fun and scary because bridal is so sacred. Like it is the most important day to some. So I would lose sleep at night. I'm like, is the feather on right? Is the zipper good? And I realized, okay, I have to get someone who knows more than me at this point because YouTube University is great, but I need someone who knows more. So I hired my first contractor and she was in Brooklyn. She did cut and sew, pattern making, everything. And with that, I really was able to take it to custom bridal. And it went from those jumpsuits into after parties, wedding gowns, reception, like every bridal event. And it just felt like the whole business was pivoting into bridal and I ran with it.
Yeah.
And now it's what it is today, which is bridal, custom special events, really everything in between.
It's cool because listening to you tell it, it sounds like a series of you saying yes to opportunities before you really felt ready.
Yes.
And I feel like that is in a lot of successful entrepreneur stories of like, okay, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'll figure it out because I can't say no to this.
Right.
So how did you also, you were doing the band tees, you were doing the blazers, and all of a sudden you're doing feathers and bedazzled and high end kind of like, that feels like a big jump.
When I did the jumpsuit is when I hired my first contractor because I knew from the second I sketched it, I was like, this is beyond me at this point. So the contractor really helped me develop my design and bring it to life. You also have to know your lane. Like I know that I can't really hand sew that custom jumpsuit, but I know if I hire an amazing woman-owned business, they can and bring my vision to life. So now we have probably over 6 different contractors who do pattern making, grading, seamstress, and really all the in-between in New York.
Yeah.
Everything is in New York. I will never, ever push it to overseas.
And that makes it so special. And then people trust you. They trust the brand that you've built.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just such a good lesson of like how to take a side hustle into like your full-time business.
It's exactly that.
Like you just learn as you go.
I think making mistakes, like I used to beat myself up so much and I still do. Every mistake I've made, I've been like, why did I do that? I wish I could have known better. Definitely took a toll on my mental health. Like my boyfriend says I sleep talk at night about dresses. I have no idea, but every lesson I've made, instead of framing it as like beating myself up, wow, you made this big mistake, I just look at it as you'll never do that again. You'll never make that same mistake again because you remember what the consequence was. So I try to reframe mistakes into learning lesson. And I think that's a big thing, especially I'm sensitive. So I try to reason with myself that way.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And I think if you also, like sometimes people tell stories of like an influencer came in and then I blew up, but it's like there was always a foundation of like skill, talent, something people could buy. Like if you had never made anything before,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't have had $10,000 in sales just like that.
Right.
You know, so it is about building that foundation and being ready for that success. And now you make all these amazing custom looks for other influencers.
Yeah.
Namely, I'm thinking of Danielle and Bridget Filong for like their Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
That was really fun to see. How
Love
did those
them.
come about?
I think Bridget DM'd me, but back during when I was in the studio 3 years ago, small studio, I definitely messaged them, Danielle and Bridget, being like, hey, can you guys wear this blazer? I had 1,500 followers. They don't know me. But I remember seeing Bridget's DM come in, and we've done quite a few with the twins. They're amazing to work with. And I think that's a really big part of my clients that come in. Anyone who comes into the studio is so amazing to work with because it's so collaborative. Like you're really working from the sketch with me to your prototype fitting. We're doing all your fittings in between. And then you get to your final fitting where you eventually either wear it down the aisle, wear it to a gala, wear it wherever you're going. And I think that's the beauty of custom is you actually get to see how a garment's made. And I don't think a lot of places get to see that. I don't think a lot of people know what goes into making a piece of clothing.
Yeah. And I think really custom, the way that you're doing it is going to be the new luxury. It's what's unattainable. Like no one else can have it unless they're willing to go through that whole process and be patient.
Right. With that, so something that I had been trying to do, another kind of pivotal point for us was Hannah Goodwin from The Bachelor wore a dress that I made her. It's called the Jacqueline dress. It's now available on the website. And when I made it, I said, I think this would be a style that a lot of girls would resonate with. A lot of people would want to wear for events. And we made it in a size run. And looking back, and now we just dropped another new dress. It's called the Delphine. It's based off of Bridget's Christmas Eve look. I want everything to be made to measure. I want everything to be made specifically for you. Even if you don't want to come in and dream up a custom look, my goal is to have a couple core pieces, like a capsule collection that we can make to your specific body type. Because I think even off the rack, like we could go buy a pair of pants size 27. I wish my waist was a little tighter here and I wish the flare was a little longer. So I think that the made to measure and bespoke work is, yes, exclusivity, but also inclusivity.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I get a piece tailored, I'm like, this is the good old days. Like, this is what they were doing before and they knew something we did.
Yeah. I actually had a bride come in, and so we do upcycles too, where we'll take like an heirloom dress from a grandmother, mother, family member, and upcycle it into something new. And I had this one bride come in, and the dress had gone through the war. And during the war, there were a block of ladies, and every single lady, because it's like post-war, no one had money or means to go buy a wedding dress. Each of these ladies, 5 ladies on the block, wore this wedding gown, and then she brought it in. I think her grandmother was the first one to wear it. She let all these ladies borrow it. She brought it in. We upcycled it, and she wore it as her wedding dress. So special.
Yeah.
Like, those are things that when I go to bed at night and I'm like, I work in fashion, what am I contributing? That to me is special.
That is really special.
Like bringing history in.
Yeah, absolutely. You must hear a lot of really amazing stories throughout all this. And people, like when you're, I think, in a collaborative atmosphere like that, you kind of open up a bit too, and you're excited. And that's kind of a big development for the business, is like selling pieces that were one of one and now someone else can like buy it on your website. You mentioned you did business management in school. Are you now like, okay, wow, that's actually really coming into play here?
In a way, yes, like school definitely helped me, but I think I was a little too scatterbrained and I was out at these internships. I felt that the more hands-on approach was better for me, learning from different founders, learning, even if I would sit with the woman I worked for who was in wholesale, and I would watch her type up the invoices and how she was placing things, even just like how to do a spreadsheet, like how to properly write a PO. All these things really helped me learn as a business, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So school did help, but I don't think you need to go to school and be in debt to start your own business, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main questions I get often, like commented on clips or whatever I'm putting out on like Instagram, TikTok, is like, well, do I need to go to school for this? Like, where should I start? Like, is there a specific internship? Just, I think people really want that end result.
Yeah.
And it's pretty messy on how you get there. And I think you have some great advice. So hopefully people can look to this and be like, I can go to YouTube.
You can do it. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to school if you have the privilege of going to school, of course. But YouTube University is always there. And just your soul, like willpower and grit. I think I learned a lot from styling. There's never a no. There's always a plan B. So if this doesn't work, there's always a plan B. Try to redirect yourself. I think it's willpower, a lot of it.
Yeah. And on the financing side of having the business, has this all been bootstrapped, and have you invested at all?
So yes, all bootstrapped via unemployment checks during COVID. So, I mean, my styling assisting job pre-COVID, I was making $35,000 a year. Pay rent, go to work, eat. There's nothing else in the cards when you live in New York. So I didn't really have much savings. And when I got laid off and saw the unemployment check, I was actually making more than what I was being paid. Every check I got went to Undone. Everything went to it. Every sale I made went back into the business. And I took side jobs. I think there's like this bad stigma of, oh, I run this company. Oh, I'm not taking another side job. Take it. I mean, I did DoorDash. I did all the things, but I also really honed in on freelance styling. So I reached back out to all of my colleagues. Hey, do you have any jobs I can help you on? Hey, do you need me to get someone ready for this? Doing that allowed me to put more into Undone and also build stronger connections with these people that I owe so much to. Like a lot of my A-list celebrity clients, placements, Selena Gomez, Sydney Sweeney, Kelsey Ballerini, Julia Fox, all of those placements were organic from my styling colleagues. So I think that was so beautiful to me to see the whole thing come full circle. And it just felt organic. Like I'm playing with my friends from styling. I'm playing with these clients who I've known before. I've got them ready. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there is sometimes, like you said, a stigma around like, oh, you're not putting your all into this business. Like, is it not working? Do you not believe in it? And sometimes it's not taking away from that passion, but taking on those freelance things, it's like can be the lifeblood of your business until it can sustain itself, you know?
Listen, like I would take a freelance job right now. Not saying I necessarily need to, but I believe in the power of yes. Say yes to everything. You never know where it's going to lead you. And also, nothing is beneath you. So yes, I may be a designer and a founder, but I'm fine to take a freelance job. Like nothing should be beneath you if you want to continue climbing in my mind.
And I'm curious, when you're getting these custom requests, the bridal, do you see some trends maybe before it's really hitting mass market? We're like, oh, this person's a tastemaker and they wanted this. It'll be out in 6 months.
Yes. Yes, I do. That's something I love about my job is that the people that are coming to Undone have these dreams of what their look is going to be. And the beauty of putting it all together is I'm really grateful for it. But when I would say the clientele that comes into Undone, they are tastemakers. They're coming in with something they can't find off the rack. They are piecing together 3 looks on a canvas slide and being like, I want this top with this sleeve and this fringe. And that is what is so exciting about the job is, yes, I design it for you, but it's also a collaboration. Like you're bringing in your ideas to me. But yeah, there's so many tastemakers. Like I've seen some of my recent brides get married and I'm like, now it's in stores at Bergdorf's and you were right.
Are there any like specific examples you can think of?
My client, Alexandra, she got married maybe 2 years ago and she wanted to do this illusion mini dress with crystals all on the bodice and a crystal fringe skirt. And this was before actually I made this crystal dress for Kelsey. I might be mixing that up. But she wanted this illusion power mesh dress with this crystal fringe skirt. And I was like, this is crazy. I love it. And now currently the demand for a crystal fringe dress bespoke is wild.
Yeah.
Almost every other inquiry. I know crystal fringe isn't groundbreaking, but at the time people weren't wearing crystal fringe to their after party. So that was cool to see.
And fringe is, I feel like, has been big the past like 4 months too.
But she did a crystal glass bead fringe.
Oh,
it was insane.
Are there any projects that stand out in your mind of like, that one was really hard, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but like we scrappily put it together?
Probably Selena Gomez's VMAs dress.
The purple one?
Yeah. Another connection, my friend Ashley, who is a celebrity stylist in her own, and she also assists for other stylists. She texted me maybe 2 days before the VMAs and she's like, hey, she calls me Baby Kate. She goes, Baby Kate, can you make Selena Gomez a dress? And I was like, yeah. And I put it together. I sent them like a tech pack. I sent them all the color options. She goes into the fitting. There's a rack of like Versace, all the big names, picks out the dress, confirms it. This is a day before the VMAs now.
Wow.
Confirms it. I'm so happy. I'm celebrating. I'm like, oh my God, Selena's going to wear my dress at the VMAs. You never know though. Up until they're on the carpet wearing your dress with celebrity, you never know. There could be a quick outfit change. There could be something that changes within minutes. Sure enough, we're like less than 24 hours out. Hey, Kate, we have to change the color.
Were you in LA for this?
I was getting on a plane.
Oh my gosh.
That night. to go to LA for another job because VMAs were actually here.
Oh, okay.
That was when the VMAs were in New York. Would have been lovely if they were in LA that year. But I quickly pivoted before my flight. I was like, I'll push my flight if I need to. Made it in the other color. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then I was at the TWA getting ready to get on my flight. And I see it on Instagram. And she's linked arms with Taylor Swift. And there's articles written on it. And I was like, oh my God, it worked. She wore it.
That is crazy.
It was...
How fast did you have to make that dress?
I mean, it was less than 24 hours.
Yeah, but I'm like, I guess in my head, I'm like, it has to take longer than that. Like, how did you?
The good part about it was we just changed the color and not the silhouette. So I knew exactly the pattern fit her. The alterations were done. All I needed to do was recut it in all I needed to do. All. But I just knew recut it same exact way we did the other one, and purple was it. I'm glad she did the purple too. It was beautiful.
What was the other color?
I can't say.
Okay. Confidential. That is so cool. That must be such a, I don't know. I just can't imagine like just seeing your dress all over the place like that. It must be such a good feeling.
It was amazing. And I know I keep saying organic, but knowing that the placement was from my friend was so cool. And you know, everyone in the styling world it's a clique. Like, you know, everyone knows the good assistants. Everyone knows what's up in styling. So having that community cheer me on was really cool.
Yeah, that's so special.
Yeah.
Another one that comes to mind is the dress that you did for Acquired Styles, like Thanksgiving or Christmas. And it was almost like a costume.
I did last 2 Christmases. So last Christmas was...
It was like a Santa Claus dress.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was inspired by Christmas Barbie. Bridget was like, the dresses can only keep getting more insane.
Yeah.
And I love that because I love bridal. I love working in custom bridal. But going to this obscure, totally out of this, like I wouldn't say I would never, but it's just flexing different skills that I didn't know I had, being able to make these Christmas Eve looks. But that one was a lot of fun. It was like a Mrs. Claus-esque Barbie look.
Yeah. It's so fun that you can, like, someone can come to you for almost anything, it seems like, and you can collaborate on that process.
Yeah, it's really like, I've had a couple people reach out and they're like, oh, I can't wait to work with you when I get married. And I understand that making a custom look is typically for special occasions, bridal, if you're walking down the carpet, galas, things like that. But it's everything in between. Like I just made a pair of pajamas for someone. I just made a really cute get ready slip gown.
Oh, didn't you do the summer house?
Yeah.
Like the sleep mask top and shorts. That's so cute.
Some people were like, it looks like a maxi pad. I'm like,
you're wrong.
It's a sleep mask.
No, that one was really fun. That one was really cool. And I'm sure you get a lot of people asking, like, can I intern for you? Can I assist for you?
Yeah.
I don't know if you do take on help in that capacity, but do you have any tips for if someone's listening, they're younger, they want to get started, how they can stand out?
I would say take the internship. And I understand that sometimes a lot of internships in fashion are unpaid. And it's truly a privilege to be able to take them. Like for me, everything is self-funded. I didn't really have much savings going into this. I did the internship plus a full-time job because I wanted the experience of the internship. And I think if you can, honestly, the way the industry is going, most internships are paid now, not a ton, but if you can take it because the hands-on learning is so different and really can teach you so much. We pay our interns pretty good. So if you need an internship, tell me. But just starting out, say yes to everything. Take your internship. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody on Instagram, asking for advice. Like the best thing I love to do is talk to fellow founders and just chat. Like my friend Abby, who was on just recently. I'm like, help me. What do you think about this? And just like bouncing off of a like-minded person is really helpful.
I was thinking too, like she was kind of like a COVID hobby that became a full business.
Yeah.
Similar
stories. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. And that's cool. It's like not a frequent, but a lot of people, once they had the time to do what they loved in COVID, they had the opportunity to make it their full-time thing after. So
learn your passion.
Exciting. And then I have a few like speed round questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a fashion hot take?
Sequins suck.
Oh.
Sequins suck. I like to use glass beads. They're like a sequin alternative, so you get the shine and vibe of a sequin, but it just looks more luxe. So it's called a glass bugle bead, and those are my favorite sequin alternative.
Wow. Okay. Inside tip. Do you have a fashion industry misconception?
I think that recently it's amazing how brands have been moving towards this inclusive, body positive way of thinking and producing their shows and putting more plus size people on the runway and really like celebrating all body types. But I think for some brands that do this standard sizing, it's kind of like a pipe dream. Like it will trickle out in a show where you'll see plus size models in some of their runway. I don't think some brands, I won't speak for all, I don't think some are truly getting the big picture of inclusive sizing for the long term.
Mm.
And that's why I love doing everything bespoke and made to measure, because I can truly say that we are size inclusive. And I think that, you know, not everyone's business model is built to be bespoke and made to measure, but that's why I like Undone, because we can cater to all types of bodies.
Yeah. And it's like your clothes need to fit you. You don't need to fit your clothes.
Right.
Like it's supposed to like add and make you happy and make your life easy, not be a burden.
Right.
What is one of the best pieces of advice you received?
Actually, from this girl sitting over here, Marissa, I've worked with her back in celebrity styling days, and I will never forget sitting in the office and she goes, "Remember, we are not saving lives. We work in fashion. Like this should be fun. We should be having fun." So I try to remember that when I get really stressed or heavy on my mental and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do all of this? What am I going to do? I'm not a doctor. We're not doctors. We make clothes, and there's supposed to be joy and simplicity and beautiful things that come out of that. And when you kind of clear your mind of this red hot burner stress and remember we're not saving lives, we work in fashion, it makes it a little bit lighter.
Yeah, for sure. And do you have a resource recommendation? Maybe a book, podcast, newsletter?
I will always plug my YouTube University. You could just about find anything you need on YouTube, but I do like listening to podcasts like while I'm in the shower, while I'm commuting. I love your podcast. Honestly, I learn a lot from yours.
God.
Yeah. And I like to dabble kind of in like new podcasts too. Just like if I have something on my mind, I'll look up how to properly price MSRP or like how to pay yourself properly. I don't know. I'm not like niche to one, but I do love almost like entering my problem in the podcast search bar and then a bunch will come up on it.
Yeah. Are there certain channels on YouTube that stick out in your mind, or maybe prompts or keywords to look out for?
For sewing, I honestly have searched the entire internet of YouTube on how to sew, but like for business advice, not a specific channel, but I would say always putting like how to in front of it has helped me generate tutorials instead of just someone talking about how to make a pattern, like how to make strapless dress pattern. And then a tutorial for me is more helpful than just someone walking me through their come with me to make a pattern, you know? Like I like a step-by-step pause. I don't know if that is
Look it up.
How to.
And do you have any upcoming announcements?
A few, but the most recent was Bridget Christmas Eve dress. We made this another Barbie inspired look, and it was this glass bugle bead. We actually put that into made to measure production. So you can now purchase the Delphine dress in silver white glass bugle beads, short and long, and it's completely made to measure. So it's the same design as the base dress minus the overskirt and the fur shawl, but it's the base dress made specifically to your body. I actually had someone come in the other day. She's like, I want to add like a lace up to the back of mine. Perfect. Come in. Like, I love the ideas. I love the ideas.
It's really pretty. I saw it on your website.
Thanks.
I feel like that is like a New Year's Eve or maybe like after look for a wedding would be so fun.
After party would be so cute. I know New Year's Eve was, as soon as we made it, I was like, oh,
yeah,
this would have been a perfect New Year's Eve, but not
next
enough
year.
time.
And where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Undone by Kate on Instagram. And my personal is Kate March _styling. I still do have 2 clients in wardrobe styling on the menswear side.
Oh,
So if you're interested, check me out there.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I love hearing how this all started for you.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.